Hi, I'm Candace and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are brand new, welcome to my journey. And so today's video is actually a very difficult video for me to record. It is going to be something that is very controversial, and I understand that. For many of you that have been following my journey for any amount of time, you know that I was married for 12 years and I recently got divorced from my husband. During our marriage, we did 2 rounds of IVF. The first round, we lost both of our embryos in an unsuccessful transfer, and the second round, we had 3 viable embryos, one of which became our daughter Victory, who is 2.5 years old now. So from that second IVF cycle, I still had 2 frozen embryos left. For any of you guys that are not familiar with how this process works, when something happens to one or both of the partners in an IVF cycle, whether someone passes away or there's a divorce or separation or whatever may happen. So whenever something like that happens, you must decide what to do with your embryos. So there's basically 4 choices. First choice is you can still use the embryos with both people's permission. I personally could not go on and do a transfer on my own without the permission of the other partner. The second option would be to donate the embryos, donate them to whatever, to another couple, to science, to somewhere else that they can be used in another way other than transferring them to me. Another option would be to keep them at the fertility doctor's facility, which the prices and the cost may vary depending on the doctor. The last option is to destroy the embryos. I wanted to make the right decision. I was like, I don't want to destroy them. I don't want to donate them. I don't want to keep them. I don't want to use them. I don't know. Like, I don't have very many options. And then when I announced my divorce to you guys, so many people actually reached out to me and asked me the question of what would happen to our embryos. I actually had several people ask me if I would donate my embryos to them so that they could carry them and have our babies. Yeah, as you guys know, I have been very open and honest about every aspect of my life here on my YouTube channel and also on social media, and I don't ever want to stray away from that. I always want to be open, honest, transparent. So getting back to the issue at hand, was what was I supposed to do with my embryo? So I knew for a fact that I would not have any more babies within my current relationship, and even after divorce I knew I would not have any more babies with him, let's put it that way. So I knew that using the embryos would be out of the question. I did not feel comfortable donating the embryos, which is in essence giving your babies up for adoption. That only really left the option of destroying the embryos or leaving them in storage for $500 a year every year until the end. Unfortunately, we have come to the decision to destroy our embryos. It's a very hard decision, very emotional decision. It's a very, even now, it's very hard to even think about and talk about, because I think about the journey and I think about how hard I worked for the embryos and how long I waited to become a mom. And so when we did the IVF and we had this successful transfer and I had Victory, I was just so happy and I was just so excited. And I was looking forward to having that same feeling with my other 2 embryos. And so the fact that I would never be able to meet these babies that I have prayed for, and I've paid for, I've waited for, it is very heartbreaking. And I honestly don't know what decision I should have made. I don't know if I made the right decision, and I felt like I made the decision that was best for the circumstances. Maybe not the decision that was the decision that I wanted to make, but the decision that needed to be made. So it's so unfair, and I want to be very, even in the midst of all of my pain, that you guys have no idea what I have dealt with and what I am dealing with. Even in the midst of my pain, I still want to be respectful, and I want to keep in mind that the millions of couples who are struggling to have a baby. So I want to keep that in mind, and I don't want in any way to seem like I took the opportunity for me to become a mom for granted, or that I am not thinking of the other couples who are struggling, and then I'm sitting here talking about destroying embryos. So I don't want anyone to get that idea, because I'm very aware, because I was one of those people who were on that path for so many years of trying to have a baby. So I don't want to sit here and pretend as if I don't remember what that feels like, and to watch a video of a woman talking about destroying embryos. I can't even imagine what that probably feels like. But on the other hand, I'm sure you guys have no idea what it feels like to be on this end of the situation, with knowing that you did not have a good situation or environment to bring 2 more children into. And so I felt, although I feel like this is a topic that is going to spark a lot of conversation and a lot of emotions for some people, I still felt like it was an important video that I needed to do, because you guys are a part of my family, and many of you have been a part of my family from the beginning. And so I didn't want to have this piece of the puzzle that was missing, that where people were like, well, what happened to the embryos? What happened to the babies? What happened? And so I did feel that it was necessary for me to do this video, even though I knew it was going to be very difficult for me. Basically, what I had to do was fill out a form that basically gave permission to ethically destroy my 2 babies, and come to the realization that my marriage is over. The life that I planned, my future that I planned, it has ended, and I will never get the opportunity to meet the 2 babies that I worked hard for, that I waited. And I just remember every step of the journey. I remember doing the shots. I remember going under anesthesia for the retrieval. I remember waiting every day for a report to find out how many embryos we had, and how many were PGS normal, how many were abnormal, and how many boys and how many girls. And I remember so clearly the excitement of getting to carry these babies, and getting to meet these babies, and getting to be a mother to these babies. And it's just like all of that is gone.
And it's just so unfair. And so, I didn't mean to cry through this whole video. So, as of right now, I am so blessed to be a mother to Victory. I just don't know. I don't know anything at this moment right now except that I am very hurt that I had to make that decision. I'm very frustrated. I'm very angry. I just wanted to come on here and share with you guys because so many of you have asked me, and because my fertility journey was such a public journey that I've shared throughout from the beginning, and I felt that it was only right for me to let you guys know how the fertility journey ends, I guess. Hope you guys just remember to not judge others or think that you know what decision you'll make in a situation that you've never been in. So if you've never been in this type of situation, or you've never had to make a decision that was this difficult, I remember that it is impossible for you to know what you would have done if you have never been in this situation. I do have to also remember that I need to protect my space and protect my peace, because this is my life and my decision, and I have to protect my mental health because I am in a very vulnerable place. I want to thank you guys so much for always being here to support me through everything that I've gone through. And I don't know where to go from here. I don't know where my channel is going to go from here. I don't know where my life is going to go from here. I don't know where my business is going to go from here. I'm just trying to find ways to figure out how to grieve the loss, because it is a loss, to grieve the loss of the embryos, and how to move forward so that sometime in the future this pain and this grief doesn't come back in another way, because I've kind of like stuffed it and not dealt with it. So my therapist actually told me to write a letter to my embryos, which I may or may not do, which I thought was a really good idea, because it's kind of like the final words that I would have to say to them. And I know right now this feels very big and heavy, and it feels very difficult, but just as I have overcome so much and I have moved past so much, I know that this too shall pass, and that I will be okay, and that my ladder will be greater than all of the loss that I have experienced in these last few years. I know I have to believe that what is coming, the life that I have that is coming, is going to be amazing and it's going to be worthwhile. It's going to be worth it for everything that I've gone through to get there. And I know that this is just a small piece of the story of my life, and it feels so big right now, but when I get to the end of my life and I look back on everything that I've gone through and everything I've accomplished, and every happy moment, every sad moment, I know that this moment right here is only gonna be like this much of the story of my life. And so I'm just going to respond accordingly. I'm going to allow myself the time and the space to deal with it, and then I'm going to manifest everything that I want to happen in my future, and I'm going to move forward and have an amazing, happy, healthy, whole life that I deserve. And so that's basically where I am right now. As you guys can clearly see, I am very emotional about this topic, and so just remember to extend me grace and patience and compassion and prayers and virtual hugs and all the things that you guys have to offer me in this season in my life. I need it all. But thank you for watching. Thank you for loving me, and thank you for your concern and your care for me and for Victory as well. If you're not a part of my family, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Be sure to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed me crying throughout this whole video, and that's probably all I have to say about that. So thanks again. I'll catch you guys next time, and I will talk to you later. Bye.